Hello everyone, welcome to my channel All with Tech. And today I'm going to discuss and I'm going to record a session for customer creation in Oracle Fusion. How to create a customer with accounts and sites in Oracle Fusion. So this is the Oracle login phase, and I will select the responsibility, which is a receivable responsibility. In receivable responsibility, you can select any of them because it's having task. So using task you can create a customer. So I'm going to click a blink, and here you can see the task, and this is the search transaction. So I will click on the task, and in the task you can see there are lots of options: create customer, manage customer, upload customer, and manage data import, right? So I'm going to create a new customer. So when any new customer creation is done, so you have to select always the create customer. So this is a customer type. So they are organization and person. Okay. So if you select the person, so this is like individual person, uh, a customer, right? And if you select organization, then you have to fill all the organization information here. So normally the company deal is happen with the organization, and we see the customer type as a organization. In organization information, I will give the customer information, which is a customer name is say example Adani, Adani customer, and this is a registry ID. This basically is automatic ID which is generated from the TCS structure. So this registry ID is automatically comes from the uh, TCA, and this is the account number, which is we can say this is a customer number. This is generated automatically if you have selected in the configuration the customer number. Customer numbering is automatic. If it is manual, then you have to enter the manual account number. Okay, so here you can enter the account description if you want. If and here is account type external and internal. External is for if this is for the external organization account, and this is for internal. So if this customer type is your like the sister company, right? So you are dealing with your uh, own company, but okay, this is a sister company, then you can select this customer type is internal. Otherwise you have to select external if you're dealing with external customer. This is customer class. So this is customer class. This is basically you can say like okay, category. Okay, so you can select any category for the customer class. And account address, this account address set, this is basically uh, the set where we let me check just if we have a site. So this is basically okay, reference data sets. Okay, so I will create a separate video how to create a reference data set, and where you have to create, so you can select here this reference data set here. Okay, so now this is a site, this is a site address detail. So you can enter the site name, Adani site, and address you can enter city, state, This is postal code. So I have given the address details here, and if you want to select any site language for any specific language, so you can select any language here. Okay, and this is a translated customer name. This is like the if your customer is say example, your customer is from China, so they have their Chinese name, right? Okay, but as per global, you can enter this name, and here you can enter the Chinese name or their translated customer name here. Here I will add address purpose. So this account site is for what purpose? Build to, ship to. So I will choose the build to and ship to both. This is for build to, and one more site I will add for ship to. Build to and where is ship to? Yes, this for ship to and build to site. Okay. So this is the basic information we have created here. Now I will click on save and close. Save and close. Okay, and I will search. So I can see now my Adani customer. Okay, so this is the Adani customer. If I click on this one, okay, so you can see here the relationship. In the relationship, this part we can see like header part, header account and sites, like this we can say. So this is a relationship. Okay, if you have any other customer which are related with this customer, so you can add the details in the relationship tab. So you can provide their name, registry ID, relationship, what is the relationship, and from and to date. And this is a tax profile. If you want to assign the tax profile, tax registration, tax exemption, classification, tax reporting codes, and withholding tax registration. So if your country is having a tax requirement, then you have to enter the tax details here. So for the tax, I will make a separate video, so it will be more clear where you have to assign the tax on the customer and supplier level, and how to configure the tax and how to calculate the tax on the transaction level. And this is a profile history. Okay, so you can see normally the profile class, okay, and the profile history is for like the collection purpose. It's normally used for the collection purpose. Okay, so the collection means say here is the credit analyst, right? So in each company for the customer they assign like the credit analyst, which we can say the collector also. Okay, so this is a credit classification. It's a moderate risk, light, low, whatever. So we can see like see we can update the profile class also. Okay, default to other, and this is a credit analyst. This is a credit limit. If the credit limit is suppose like 100K, so you cannot create the invoice more than 100K amount. So the system will restrict you to create just only 100K. You cannot create more than this. Okay, order amount limit. So you can enter the order amount limit here, and credit currency, in which currency you want to have the credit limit. Okay, suppose if the customer belongs to the USD in US, then definitely the credit currency will be the USD. Okay, so this is a tolerance. So if you provide the tolerance here. Suppose if I give the 10%, right? So it will be the flexible that you can create the invoice, the 10%, the system will allow you for the tolerance that if you have a credit limit 100K, then system will allow and the tolerance is the 10%. So it means you can create 10,000 USD, uh, the more amount, right? Which is like 110K you can create. So whatever amount is there in credit limit, so 10% extra you can extra amount you can create a invoice. Okay, so this is a risk code you can select for the customer. Okay, so this is like the collection team responsibility. They decided based on their the customer payment. Okay, so based on the customer payment, okay, this is all okay decided how this customer is average, high, low, whatever, and how's the market value, okay, of this customer, and this is a credit rating. Okay, so uh, they also okay, calculate okay this okay credit rating, or based on that okay they select okay what how is the credit rating for our customer. And this is a conversion rate type. Okay, uh, if your customer in the like foreign currency, okay, you are dealing with a foreign currency with that customer. So suppose your company in USD and your customer is in like uh, Europe. Okay, so in that case you have the created currency euro for that customer, and conversion rate type you have to give your like USD to euro, like this. Okay, so this is like all the basic details here. So I will click save and close. Now next is accounts. You can have multiple accounts for the customer. One customer can have multiple accounts and multiple sites also, right? So this is the customer header part. I can say in my language, and this is account. So one customer can have multiple accounts here, and one account can have multiple sites here. So if you see here, we have this accounts, and in under this account we have this site 1242618, right? So if I want to add more accounts, I can add. So basically this more accounts is what is the normally general cases is if we want to define our accounts like for the different customer class, like which is like okay category. So one accounts for like the hospitality, because one customer having like different businesses, right? So based on that we can have the multiple accounts. Okay, and one account will be linked with hospitality, and one like account can be like the logistic, one account for the IT, like this. Okay, we can create multiple accounts. So now we will click on the accounts. So this is our account details, account number, external customer, and here you can add the receive method. Okay, so it means whenever you create a transaction, automatically by default the receive method will be assigned on the transaction screen. So always you have to pay this transaction under that receive method. If you select any other receipt method, then that transaction will not be selected. Okay, so this is the receipt method details, and this is the payment instrument number. So basically this payment instrument number is used only for the direct debit payment. Okay, so basically what is the direct debit concept, right? So you know the sometime okay what happened, uh, you agreed with bank and customer that behalf of my customer, if I raise any invoice, so I can get the payment from the bank side. Okay, so there is an agreement between uh, 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 customer and banks, right? So we send the details to bank, that these are the invoice and these are the amount for this customer. Okay, based on the agreement, bank will check the invoice amount and will transfer in our bank account, and bank will pay we have on the customer. So this is basically the direct debit concept. So that's why we have all details here. Okay, so normally this is used in Europe, and Europe, while direct debit is widely used in European region mostly. Okay, so in Artwell, there was no credit card features. Now in Oracle Fusion, they have provided the credit card features, so you can add the customer credit card details, okay, and even for the bank account details also, right? So whenever like you will send the invoices to the bank, that these are the invoices generated for the customer, so please pay for these invoices, right? So these are the debit authorizations. This is like separate requirement and separate setups, like okay, based on the agreement what banks, based on that we do the setup for the direct debit authorization. And there is some technical task also is required to develop a code to send a file in XML format or uh, bank requested format. So based on that we send the file, and then bank is transfer based on the our file data. Okay, so this is like basically used for this one, right? And now next is the communication. So communication is like you have to enter the contact details, okay, of the customer. In case you want to contact, there's a delay in payment, so you can contact to the customer. So means from the customer side, there will be any specific person will be assigned for the that payable parts from their side, from the customer side. So you can contact to the payables team for the customer. So here you have to enter all the details, the contact, and you can have the multiple primary contact, first name, last name, phone, contact address, all these details. Okay, and this is the contact points, and this is a responsibility. You can add the contact name, first name, last name, all these details here. Okay, and then the relationship we see first in the header level and second on the account level. Okay, we have the relationship, right? So here like we can add the related account for that relationship, and we can add the related account name, related account description, okay, and will to ship to site here. And this is the profile history. Okay, so again this profile history, like we have same on the header level and on the account level also we have. So on the account level, suppose if you see here, most of the information are same which we already discussed. See, the profile class is default, and created and collection collector Jim Jones, and moderate risk, account status, rating, tolerance, all these information, right? And the credit limit. So, and this is a terms, the payment terms with the customer. So if the invoice is generated on first Jan, so then customer has to pay within a 30 days. So customer can pay till 30 of 30 of January. Okay, and this is a receipt matching option. Match receipt by transaction number, auto cash rule set. So here you can control the receipt matching options from the customer level also. And this is a statement and turning. So how you want to send the statement? You want to send the statement, so you have to check this checkbox. And statement cycle, what is the statement cycle? Is a weekly, monthly, yearly, like this. So normally the statement cycle is the monthly, okay, the general practice in the organization. So this is a send credit balance. If you want to send the credit balance also, okay, so credit balance means you have received more than your transaction amount, Okay, so it means you have invoice of uh, 1000 USD, but you have received from the customer side the 1500 USD. So 500 will be as a credit balance. Okay, so if you want to send also with the statement that you have a credit balance this one, so you can also send this one and send dunning letter. So this is the dunning letter. If you want to send, you have to check this checkbox, and there is some separate setup for the dunning. I will show you in the separate session how to configure dunning and how to send the dunning to the customer, and what are the different type of dunning, and what are the like which business scenario we send the dunnings, right? So this we can see later. So this is the preferred contact method, email. So, and this is invoice grouping rule. Okay, and the next is late charge. This is basically late charge is for generate the interest invoice, right? So suppose if you want to, some countries having their policy like, okay, some companies, if you don't pay the invoice within our agreed terms, then they charge like 2%, 5%, or they will charge per invoice like 50 USD based on like uh, their company policy, right? So if they have the late charge, so you have to enable the late charge on the customer level, and you have to do some setups for the late charge. So it means you can generate the interest invoice. Okay, say example, you have like uh, uh, a penalty amount which is like each invoice is 100 USD. So one invoice is not paid within a agreed terms. Okay, so then you want to run the late charge. So once you run the late charge and you have the invoice of like 1000, then one more invoices will be generated for the interest invoice, which is a late charge invoice, and this will be with amount of 100 USD. So now customer has to pay 1100 USD. Okay, so this is all like this is also separate topic, the late charge configuration and all these things. Then this part will be clear. Okay, the separate section, because this is a separate part for the late charge, how late charges work, and how you want to calculate the interest invoice, what will be the formula, what will the payment term, late charge type, and you have to define the late charge invoice type, invoice source. Okay, and interest period and cycle. You have to define also cycle also for the late charge. Okay, so these are the first you have to configure the setup for the late charge, then you have to enable on this one, then you can create a scenario, and once the scenario is created, you can run the late charge cycle and you can see the invoices generated. Okay, so this is basically the late charge invoice functionality. And now this is all we discussed. Now we will click save and close. Now next is the site. So we will discuss about the site. So it means the customer can have, one customer can have multiple accounts, and one account can have multiple sites. It seems like RTL concept, there's no change. There are some changes in like in the field value and some additional, like they added credit card information here. So this is a site. Now we will click on the sites to see the details. Okay, so this is the site details, and if you see, this is our site. We have only one site. Okay, and this is account data set, and if you see we have two will to son, and here we have reference account. So here we will add our business unit and ledgers. So the business unit I will add, I already having US1 business unit. Okay, and once I will enter the business unit, then I have to give the revenue account, receivable account, unearned revenue, unbilled receivable, based on your, because these are optional. Okay, so uh, the benefit is like if you give here, by default it will be on the invoice level, so you don't need to enter on the invoice level. Otherwise you have to enter on the invoice level. So I have revenue account I can give here, and the receivable, and this is unearned revenue. So now I have given the accounts here. So when I create a transaction, so revenue receivable account will be picked from here. So if I need to change account value or any other segment value, so I can change on the invoice level. Click on OK. So this is our business unit and ledger is assigned for this site. And here is payment details. This is on site level. So normally first the information is picked from the site level. If the information is missing on the site level, then it will pick on the account level. So this is how it's work here. Okay, so you can add the receipt method here, and here this is for the business unit, specific business unit. So credit card and bank account details you can add for that business unit. And this is a communication. So you can add the all communication detail. This we already discussed on the account level, right? So same detail you can add here, because uh, first the details is picked from the site level. And this is a profile history. So you can create a site profile. For example, no profile exists, I can create a site profile. Okay, so if you want to change this site profile, so you can change. Otherwise you can save this. Okay, so this is a profile class. On the account level we use also the default one. If you have your own specific, so okay you can select that one. So you will save and close. This is the same all information we already discussed, right? So nothing new here. And this is a text profile. So this text profile, if you have the text or withholding text, you can assign here. And now finally you can save and close. So now our customer is created. So we can see, just we check our customer, we can select on the transaction level or not, because now our customer is ready and we can create any transaction. Okay, so I will open new tab and in the receivable click blink in the task create transactions. This is a transaction class, invoice, credit memo or debit memo. And this is my business unit. My business unit is US1 business unit. And I will select my transaction source, manual or manual numbering 1001. This is a document sequence numbering. So once it's saved and completed, then document sequencing will be generated here. This is a transaction date, accounting date, and this is an invoicing rule. We are not using invoicing rule now. This is also separate topic. And will to name. Will to name is Adani. Will to name means the customer name. Adani customer 56122. Cross check 56122. Okay. So you can see ship to name is this, bill to ship to site, bill to site, and payment terms we have 13th. Now due date is the 1st April. Okay, so it means our customer is now we can see our customer detail is showing and we can see. Okay, so you can see now. Okay, you can see now the customer detail is showing. So it means our customer is created and we can select our details. So this is how the customer creation happen in Oracle Fusion. So you can create a customer in Oracle Fusion using this process. So thank you so much for watching my video. And if you like my video, please subscribe and like my channel. And if you have any comment or any concern and would like to understand any fields or like scenario, please leave a comment. I will try to reply you as soon as possible. Thank you.